greetings and salutations. Thank you again for joining us on another episode of Young, Black, and in Business. For you all that don't know, my name is Roosevelt Williams III, and I am the host. And I also want to remind you, get your pen and your paper because we're going to have an exciting day, show, everything. Because the word of today is serendipity. That's the word of the day. It's stumbling on luck, having good fortune by accident. And the law of success for this week is self-discipline, self-control. I am thankful that I have the founder of Maveriqs with me, Mr. Lamin Turay. Mr. Lamin, tell us more about Maveriqs. What is this? What are you doing? Because you are the epitome of young, black, and in business.
Well, first off, thank you for having me, Roosevelt. Appreciate the opportunities that have been afforded to me after meeting you and networking with you. And yeah, I'm the founder of Maveriqs. My company is a media production company, and we have a piece of original content called Boss Battles that is the primary thing that we do. So Boss Battles is actually an entrepreneurship debate show. It's kind of a game show, and it's meant for fun and entertainment. We bring in San Diego area entrepreneurs. We ask them questions about anything from social media to technology, growth hacking, business, entrepreneurship, sales, so on and so forth. And we have them debate those topics. So, each of them will answer the question, and then they'll, give reasons why their answer is better than the other person's, or why the other person's answer isn't as great. So there's an area of competition and passion and creativity that goes into it, but it's all meant for fun and entertainment, and to help other people learn how entrepreneurs really think. And that's kind of the core value, the core takeaway of the show.
Yes, I just want to give you a shout out, and also Boss Battles and Maveriqs. I actually attended one of the shows.
Yeah,
and it was entertaining. It was cutting edge. It was dynamic, and I took notes because of the individuals that you had on your show. They were sharp.
Yeah.
Learn some new words. Learn some new different ways of thinking.
Yep.
So how did you devise that plan? Where did that come from?
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that, and I'm happy that you attended one of the shows because it's really cool to hear feedback and somebody's direct experience having been there. But really, I came up with it because I'm a YouTube addict. I consume media just like everybody else. There's the social media out there. There's YouTube. There's television. There's so many different ways to consume content and media these days. And a few years ago, I kind of landed on the fact that video is really what I'm most interested in, and YouTube is the ultimate video platform for creators. So there's different channels that I follow on YouTube, and one of them is called Screen Junkies. And actually, they've been in the news a lot lately for some negative reasons, but I started following Screen Junkies a few years ago, and they have a show on there called Movie Fights. And it's very similar to Boss Battles. It's actually what I've modeled Boss Battles on, where they bring in three people, they debate pop culture and movie and television topics, and kind of battle it out. And I got to thinking, with my platform Maveriqs and the entrepreneurship edge and kind of theme that I have with my content, why not have a similar show wrapped around entrepreneurship?
Brilliant.
So I came up with the idea, I started concepting it, and I talked to a number of different creators and some videographers, some photographers about actually producing this show, and we decided to just run with it. And that's one of the things that I've learned in studying entrepreneurship and talking with other business owners is, you can only take so much time analyzing and planning and, setting things up so that they'll be perfect before you actually have to just kind of dive in and take the plunge. So a couple months ago, we decided to just run with it and do our first episode, and it was a big success. We actually had a live audience. There's, right around 20 people in the audience, and we had a couple entrepreneurs from the San Diego area come in. Shout out to Terry Josiah of Music Life Change.
Shout out. The gratitude guy.
Yeah, the gratitude guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was on our first episode. Harrison Shane as well, and our winner, Alex Hinojosa, all people who I've networked with, and it was a big success. Everybody who was involved in the show said that they had a fantastic time. It was really entertaining, it was funny, and it was everything that I wanted people to get out of it. And it was like you mentioned, you get a chance to really see how entrepreneurs and business owners and people who are creative really think and how they approach different problems.
Absolutely.
And that's what I want the audience to get out of it, on top of the entertainment value. So that's kind of where it came from. It's been months in the making. And now we're getting ready to film our 4th episode in a couple of weeks.
And that's beautiful. You have to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the key to the combination. I also want to give you a shout out for something that you said. You got to just shoot your shot, sort of say. You know, a lot of entrepreneurs, this is another law that we're going to imprint for this week. Shoot your shot, because a good hunter must practice his or her aim.
Right.
Some individuals, they, hoard their ammunition. You have to be able to shoot your shot.
Yeah.
You got to, practice and just jump out there. A lot of individuals may be timid, and just to see that you're on your 4th episode right now, you're just being consistent, and that's the key to success.
Yeah.
To keep refining yourself and keep getting better as you go. And I'm definitely a fan. I've watched Boss Battles, and I like that you actually have a diverse crowd. And you also have the Boss Ladies.
Yeah.
I've seen them battle as well. So I definitely recommend you listeners and viewers tune in and check out Boss Battles. So how often do you view it? When do you show it? How can we learn more about it? What links? How can we become a part of the crowd?
So, primarily the content that's created through Maveriqs is spread on social media. So Facebook is huge for me. It's really where I've been getting my theme and my point across and sharing most of my content. So if you go to facebook.com/Maveriqs, Maveriqs, you can basically see the entire brand identity and the content that we share. Our final produced shows for Boss Battles are actually on our YouTube channel, and that's you can go to YouTube and just search Maveriqs.co or Maveriqs Boss Battles, and you can find a couple of episodes that are on there as well. So those are the primary platforms where our content is shared, and then we also do other things outside of Boss Battles. It's more of like I like to think of it as an ecosystem, right? So similar to how you have the Young Black and in Business platform, Maveriqs is a platform for me to share content that I find interesting about entrepreneurship. So I curate articles that I find across the web that are like interesting for entrepreneurs, share those on Facebook, and I've also done what I call Maveriqs profiles. And those are interviews with San Diego area entrepreneurs, one being yourself, that we titled Your Network is Your Net Worth.
Absolutely.
And that's on the website. So that's www.maveriqs.co. And again, Maveriqs is spelled Maveriqs. So there's a number of interviews that I've done with, anywhere from venture capitalists to, people who have a community platform for awareness for entrepreneurs like yourself. Product entrepreneurs. There's a girl who has a company called Pi Yoga Pants. I interviewed her about her yoga pants company, and just really like sharing information about how entrepreneurs think, their different journeys that they've taken to success, and where they're headed next. In 2017, Absolutely. Entrepreneurship is a lot different than it was in 2000 or in 1990 or 1980. There's a lot of different avenues that people have to share their brand and their voice and their message and their product, whatever it may be, and that's fascinating to me. So, the aspect of being an entrepreneur
there you go.
is interesting to me, but the aspect of entrepreneurship as a concept is more interesting to me, and that's kind of why I do what I do with Maveriqs. I like to interact with entrepreneurs.
And that's beautiful, and that's why I just bring up the word of the day, serendipity, because a lot of times it's not about your ability, it's about your availability.
Right.
But you just, networking, you never know, what you'll learn or, what you can gain from that.
Mm-hmm.
And the stars are definitely aligning, and San Diego is becoming an entrepreneur mecca, sort of say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just thankful to be able to join the campaign with you and spearhead, with being Young Black in the Business. I want to take this time to share with you my 8 steps to success, and I also want to learn yours as well.
Right on.
For entrepreneurs that maybe starting off, or entrepreneurs that wake up without an alarm clock,
Mm-hmm.
that have passion and that's driven every single morning. Some folks like to say just need a kick in the butt. So I like to say having a positive mental attitude is number one. For being an effective entrepreneur, being early. Like you were, this morning, and ever since I've met you, you always been, you always been efficient when it came to time.
Right.
Always in a timely fashion. You gotta show up. Like
Yeah.
I said, it's not about your ability, it's about your availability and being prepared. Ever since I, met you, always had a pen and a pad with you. Also, your laptop, and you know how to work your 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
And sometimes being an entrepreneur, it may have to extend to 12 or 13, where
Absolutely.
to say, but you know how to actually go to work for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
be self-driven, and pretty much working your territory. With you being on Facebook, you're not just letting that be your number one aspect. You on media, you got audio, you got visual, and actually you bring your team with you. So working your entire territory. And for an entrepreneur, some things may get you down, so you always have to maintain your positive mental attitude. You may get discouraged. Like for example, I recommend individuals wake up looking for 100 no's. Entrepreneurs out there, young black in the business, to the young black in the business nation. Shout out Atlanta, shout out Florida. I want to give a shout out to Northern California. Get up every morning and look for 100 no's, because if you're looking for 100 no's, serendipity, you'll get 10 yeses. Want somebody to tell you, go out for what you want and your purpose and you're driven, you'll get those yeses. And those yeses are actually steps to success.
Absolutely.
Those no's just help you build your character. And you got to take control. That's number 7 of the 8 steps to success, is taking control of your environment, take control of your mental thought. And my last step for success is have fun and make money.
Right on.
You know what I mean? So can you share with us briefly some of your 8 steps to success?
Yeah. Mine are going to be a little different, just because my experience with entrepreneurship has been a lot different and unique. And I think everybody's experience is unique. That's kind of why I've interviewed so many different people. But just to kind of dive into it, one would probably be believe. Believe in yourself, believe in your idea, believe in what it is that you're doing. The other thing would be lead. So if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're automatically stepping into a leadership role. Even if you're a solopreneur, the people that you partner with, the people that you want to work with or network with, need to see that you're a leader and have to have a desire to follow you. So believe, lead, have fun for sure. Be passionate about what you're doing, enjoy what you're doing, and success will find you. Mentorship is very important, I would say. So you want to interact with people who are doing better than you. One of the things that's been very interesting along my entrepreneurial journey is, I have found that the people that I associate with, really, you learn through osmosis. So
Absolutely.
if you're associating with people who have been successful or who know how to find success, you yourself are going to pick up those traits. So mentorship would be another one. Dream. I think dreaming is very important. I think and I would wrap goals and objectives into that. So set your goals and objectives high. Never have a plateau for them. Always continue to dream, and belief kind of rolls up into that. What would be a couple more? Be creative. Embrace your creativity. Everybody has an individual voice, and you'd be surprised at how many people are out there that are interested in hearing what you have to say. And then just tenacity, I think would be number 8. Just never stop. Be aggressive with wanting to go after and achieve your goals. Yeah. You got to fight for it, because especially if you're by yourself, nobody's gonna do it for you. We were just talking earlier before the show about I don't know how to use a lot of creative applications that are out there, like Photoshop or Adobe Premiere. Yet I have a media company and I produce a YouTube show. I've found a way. So you have to be tenacious in order to achieve your goals.
That's that serendipity. It'll come to you when you're exerting positive energy to the universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's the law of attraction, and it falls right into one of Newton's theories. I also want to just take this time to remind you all to get a pen and get a piece of paper, because you're going to want to take notes from this distinguished, dignified, debonair gentleman. And this is Young Black in the Business. But before I go, I want to remind you to start with a commitment. I want to remind you to always deliver with success, and whatever you do, finish with success. Start with a commitment, deliver with quality, and always finish with success. We're going to take a short commercial break right now to pay some of the bills, but I want to leave you with another note. LTL. LTL is an acronym, and it's learn to listen and listen to learn. So write that down. LTL, learn to listen and listen to learn, and we'll see you after we pay these bills because we are young, black, and in business. Okay, and we're back. We got enough money to pay for some hamburgers and pay for some gas. And we're excited to be here, so you should get excited as well. If you're just not tuning in, the law of success for this week is self-discipline, self-control. No one can control others until they first learn how to control themselves. So if you want to be able to influence the masses, you first have to have self-discipline. Control your thoughts. You have to eliminate some of the envy, some of the jealousy, some of the fears you have in your thoughts. You have to eliminate a lot of that revenge you have and some of that selflessness. And you have to stop giving yourself so much of self-approval. You got to go out there and you got to earn it. And be your Super Bowl coach in the mirror. You have to be able to control your thoughts. So we're here with the founder of Maveriqs, Lamin Turay.
Hello.
Okay, we're back at it. So please, Maveriqs, tell us where the name of Maveriqs derived from. What is that about? That's intriguing.
Yeah. So traditionally the word Maverick or the name Maveriqs, a lot of people might think of Top Gun. That Tom Cruise movie. His call sign was Maverick. But Maverick, to me and to a lot of people, has represented somebody who's independent, somebody who does their own thing. Doesn't walk down the beaten path, but decides to take another path and kind of just branch out and really go after what they want in life. And I thought that would be a cool name for my company. But also there's another aspect to it, and there's a surf area in California called Maveriqs. And it's typically known for being a more experienced and high-level surf area. So it's for people that are of a higher level of skill. And I thought merging those two things and also spelling the name differently, adding the IQ to it as opposed to the ICKS.
I like that.
Would get people thinking about their entrepreneurial IQ. So the name Maveriqs, Maveriqs, comes from independence, high skill level, and your entrepreneurial intelligence quotient. You merge the three of those and you get Maveriqs.
Brothers on purpose, brothers on a mission. So yeah, that's beautiful right there, especially that IQ part right there.
Right on.
So what are some of the services that you provide with Maveriqs?
Sure. So outside of our original content production, my show Boss Battles and the Maverick Profiles interviews that we do, we also do content. We have content production services for small businesses or entrepreneurs. So if you're a product person, or if you have your own platform that you're trying to get more awareness and exposure for, we can provide videography services, photography services, and copywriting. I'm actually a pretty good writer, and I know some people that do copywriting. So we provide video, photo, and writing services for other businesses and entrepreneurs.
And let's get your number and how to be contacted again, because that is a vital resource in
Absolutely.
Our community.
Thank you for mentioning that. So yeah, I can be contacted primarily through my website, www.maveriqs.co, and again it's spelled Maveriqs, Maveriqs.co. I'm on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Maveriqs, and then my phone number is 253-332-7507, and my email address, lamin@maveriqs.co.
And could we get that one more time, just because we want to make sure that your contact information is maximized?
Yeah, absolutely. So the phone number is 253-332-7507, and my email address is lamin@maveriqs.co, and I'll spell it out. Lamin is spelled Lamin, like Lamin, at Maveriqs, Maveriqs.co. Please feel free to reach out to me. If you have any interest in what I'm doing or the services that we provide. I'm always looking to work with partners, other entrepreneurs, learn their story, help people out, and provide value in the community.
Value in the community, because community, when you break that down, is common unity.
Mm-hmm.
So we all have the common unity, and the reason why this brother is here on this stage and with this platform is because the brother is young, black, and in business. The brother right here is making those examples and giving them positive demonstrations, and it's making visible waves. And you see us. When you see us, you see yourself, and we see, and we see you, we see ourselves. We're in this together because we're having common unity, and you know, it's it's an extreme blessing to be able to share this platform and to be here at this time in these difficult times, and to be able to share the knowledge and help others out. I also want to let you know that you can also call in at 10 o'clock on Sunday, 619-919-4745, and ask his brother a question.
Please feel free.
Or you can ask a question to myself, because we're here to be able to share. We live to give.
Right on.
And we LTL. If you didn't write that down before, it's learn to listen and listen to learn. So on this Sanctified Sunday, so to say, because we are blessed here on October 15th, 2017. Where are we going to see Maveriqs at in 3017? What is your 100-year plan?
It's interesting that you asked that. A friend of mine who's an entrepreneur in San Diego area was just posting on social media just recently about legacy. He was like, what does legacy mean to you? What is the definition of legacy?
Legacy.
And I think that directly kind of ties into, where's Maveriqs going to be in 3017? I was speaking with my girlfriend a few months ago about what I'd like to be able to provide to friends, family, and my audience through Maveriqs. And I was telling her one of the things that I think would be really cool is to hire my niece to work for Maveriqs and be part of the creative culture and community of the company. So that's one of the goals of mine. That's not a 3017 goal, but that's maybe, a 2027 goal.
There you go.
But as far as, 100 years from now, I want people to look back on Maveriqs. Hopefully it's still existing, and, my descendants are carrying on the creative culture, and really think of it as a hub for fun and entertaining content about entrepreneurship. Shows, articles, podcasts, whatever it may be, just an ecosystem of entertaining content about entrepreneurship that you can also learn from. So we were talking about my show Boss Battles and how, I have entrepreneurs on there, bosses, and we ask them questions about entrepreneurship, business, so on and so forth. But really the value that comes from that is learning how they think, learning how they break down complex problems, learning how they can come up with creative ideas that can actually be rolled into a tangible business. And all of the content that I create, the mission of the content that I create for Maveriqs is to get people thinking about that, to spark their interest in entrepreneurship, and for them to know that, it's not as difficult as people think. It really just takes execution. Coming up with an idea is incredibly easy. Anybody can come up with an idea. I'm sure everybody listening to this broadcast right now has come up with $1 million idea. But execution is really what it takes. And you can extract, the value of how people execute from the content that I produce through my company, Maveriqs.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So again, just kind of rolling back to answer your question, I want people to think of Maveriqs 100 years from now as a source that they can go back to learn about entrepreneurs, how they think, and to spark ideas for people to go forward and move forward with their own businesses.
Amazing. Be able to give them that content so they can execute.
Yeah.
And succeed, and also lead by example, be that lighthouse that can guide many ships.
Mm-hmm. And have fun doing it. I mean, again, like, the reason that I have so much fun working on my company is because it's about fun and entertainment.
Nice.
The interactions that I have with people are enjoyable, and taking those interactions and converting them into a show or an article or an event even is really something that I enjoy.
Making the covert overt.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No doubt.
You like that one?
Uh-huh.
And be able to share. And I definitely see a Maveriqs spaceship, leaving Earth, going to the moon.
Yeah, we're taking off.
Yeah, you're taking off, expanding and exploding. Like we like to say here. And you should get excited. Because you can too. Did you hear what the founder
Absolutely.
of Maveriqs just shared? Turn your thoughts into reality. It takes some execution, it takes some consistency, and it takes some time, but you can do it as well, because you are young black in the business also. And I like to say, we may not all be in the same boat, but we all in the same storm. And you go to this brother's webpage, contact him. This brother will give you resources and content on how you can succeed as well. But I definitely want to just commend you for having the nepotism, saying how you want to be able to have your niece.
Oh yeah, I mean, you want to give back.
You want to be able to want to be able to give back. You want to be able to share that with that vision, and that's so important that you want to bring others along with you, especially your family. You're speaking of legacy. You see the dynasty, sort of say.
Yeah.
And you're definitely lead by example. So I mean, what's next for Maveriqs?
Yeah, so right now a lot of my energy and passion and really effort is poured into making our original show Boss Battles as big and as high quality as possible. So I've been pitching the show to different studios in the San Diego area. I've been doing more and more networking, working on getting more exposure, getting the show and the brand in front of more people. This opportunity has been fantastic, and again, I want to thank you for networking with me and providing me the chance to tell people about my platform. But yeah, a lot of the effort's going into Boss Battle. So if people are listening right now and they're interested in Maveriqs, they're interested in what I'm doing, please check out the show Boss Battles on YouTube. Maveriqs, you can go to YouTube, search Maveriqs Boss Battles. There's 2 episodes up there already. We're getting the 3rd episode up this coming week, and we're filming the 4th episode in 2 weeks. Just check out the show, leave a comment, leave a like. I'd really appreciate that. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Maveriqs. If you like the stuff that I'm posting, leave a like. If you don't, leave a like too. It doesn't hurt to click and just learn more about entrepreneurship. I mean, if you're interested in business, if you're interested in entrepreneurship, you want to support a San Diego area entrepreneur, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscription on YouTube. I'm just trying to get my content in front of more people. I know that people find it interesting. I've had a live audience at all of my Boss Battle shows, and everybody's come up and said how much fun they've had, how entertaining it was, how funny it was, and that they've learned something. I always use my mom as kind of a litmus test for the projects that I'm working on. And she's watched Boss Battles on YouTube, and then she's been to a live event. And she was the one that actually told me that the main piece of value that she's gotten from it is learning how entrepreneurs think. And I have to admit, when I first dove in and just kind of pulled the trigger on doing Boss Battles, was because I wanted to have a fun, cool, entertaining YouTube show. But understanding that people can extract value from it from a learning standpoint, learning how entrepreneurs think is a great angle. And I'm going to continue to push that angle and work on that and, help people to know that that's a benefit that they can get from engaging with this content.
And that's beautiful, because you can't learn that sitting on a piece of plastic in the classroom.
Right.
You actually have to go out there and you have to get it. Another acronym for those that have that piece of paper and that pen is TCB. We're gonna spread it. TCB is taking care of business.
Taking care of business.
Taking care of business.
Absolutely.
And to be an entrepreneur, you got a TCB.
Yeah.
We're gonna, for those that LTL, that listen to learn and learn to listen, that actually have a pen and a piece of paper, we're gonna share trinkets.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna share this jewelry, with you, because you obviously are TCB. You're taking care of business, and you too could be on this platform. You too are young, black in the business. You too are successful. You too have a 100-year plan. I like to say, if you use these young, black in the business pens, if you put it on black and white, it'll turn green. Put your plan into action, and it'll definitely monetize.
Yeah.
Everything. I also want to present this to you as well.
Thank you.
That's the pen, because it's power in the pen, and it's power in every stroke.
Right on.
And that's purpose. And you're executing. And I just want to commend you. But I want you to ask yourself at home, what is the price of greatness? What is the price of greatness?
Sacrifice and execution. A good example of this was I met with a contestant for Boss Battles episode 4, our coming episode, last weekend, and we were filming a promo video. And I was telling him, I don't want anybody to get disillusioned. I actually have a day job. I have my company, Maveriqs. I still work a day job. And I was telling this individual that I work 7 to 4, and I work 5 to midnight. My 7 to 4 is my day job. My 5 to midnight is Maveriqs. And then I sleep, I wake up, and I do it again every day. And then on the weekends, I'm doing as much as I can to get my platform in front of people and for people to know what I'm doing and be able to engage with my content. So I definitely say, the execution is taking the time out, to, write down, like you're saying, your detailed plans, your to-do list, whatever it may be, and to have a tangible version of that in front of you consistently. And then to execute on that. Go through that list, pick out some low-hanging fruit, some things that you may be able to take care of right away, and get those small wins in and celebrate that. And then continue to work towards those larger, bigger goals. One of my biggest goals is to have 10,000 views for every episode of Boss Battles.
Beautiful.
And to have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So
Beautiful.
whatever it is that I'm doing, I want to point towards those goals. So right now, please subscribe to Boss Battles and Maveriqs on YouTube. Please like us on Facebook. It's going to help me with my goals.
Like us and love us.
Yes, please. Again, Maveriqs is spelled Maveriqs. You can find us on Facebook very easily and on YouTube as well. But the sacrifice part comes in, like I said, that 5 to midnight portion of my day. So on the weekdays, typically before I had my own brand and I had my own company, I was working towards these goals. I would, get home and maybe I'd go to the gym and come home and watch Netflix, or I'd play some PlayStation, or I'd, dink around on social media or whatever it may be, and that would be my 5 to midnight. Now my 5 to midnight is spreading my message, working on content, working on my brand, engaging with other people, following up on emails, making phone calls, whatever it may be to build my brand and build my company. So it's the sacrifice that you kind of knock out some of these things that aren't helping you reach your goals, and then you execute on things that are going to help you to reach your goals.
Brilliant. And it's 2 points that I want to just, highlight, that you said. You're looking to get 10,000 views on every episode, and anything without a challenge is not worth doing.
Exactly.
So, what you're doing is definitely worth it because it's a challenge. And the price of greatness, in my opinion, is responsibility. Being accountable, for self-discipline, and self-control. You have the responsibility to be great because you are the master of your fate. Absolutely. You are the master and commander of your destiny. So you too are young, black, in the business. So get excited.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I think, like you said, you're the master of your fate. You're also the master of your attitude. You can control how your day plays out. Some people, you wake up, you're in a bad mood, you're thinking about negative things, or something wrong happened to you the previous day, or you got something daunting or challenging coming up that day. However, fake it till you make it. Put on a smile. Think about something that you enjoy. Think about something that you're passionate about and that makes you happy, and be happy. You can seriously control how your day plays out and how you approach your days. And it really, really works. I used to work in sales, and I'd be cold calling. And, I'd make, dozens or hundreds of phone calls a day. And you hear all, like you mentioned earlier in the show, you hear these no's. You get constant no's and rejections, or people cursing you out or hanging up on you. But if you actually smile while you're doing things, that can be translated through a phone, through a video, through an email that you're writing. You are in control of your own destiny and your attitude and your energy and how you approach life. And if you have that positivity and you have that positive attitude, it's going to translate into all the work that you do and how much people want to engage with you. People don't want to engage with somebody who's negative and frowning all the time or down on themselves because they think something's so challenging. But if you have high energy, high positivity, more people will want to engage with you, more people will want to engage with your brand, and that can translate into sales, that can translate into views and subscriptions for somebody like me, and it can translate into more opportunities being available to you.
Beautiful. And I just want to, just reiterate, you're to be commended. And in the same breath, I want to give a shout out to Terry Josiah.
Terry Josiah, yeah.
He's also a young black in the business, and you got to have the attitude of gratitude.
Absolutely.
You got to have the attitude of gratitude.
Check out Terry Josiah, Music Life Change. Interacting with that individual has opened up a number of doors. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here now if I hadn't met Terry Josiah. And he's very much the epitome of what I was just talking about when it comes to controlling your destiny and exuding positivity. His platform is gratitude. Be grateful for whatever it is you have in your life, and take time out of your day to understand that even if you're down, even if you're sad, there's something that you have that you can be grateful for. Whether it's family, whether it's a roof over your head, whether it's a vehicle that you can drive to get from here and there, whether it's the opportunity to take public transportation, whether it's food on your plate. Be grateful for whatever it is you have, and that will translate into a positive attitude that will then open up more doors and opportunities to you. So yeah, big shout out to Terry Josiah.
Big shout out.
Music Life Change, the gratitude guy.
The gratitude guy. Got had an attitude of gratitude. At one point in my life, I was a young lad, and I was mad that I didn't get the new pair of Jordans that came out.
Right.
But then I looked at a man that had no feet. And it kind of put things into perspective for me to be happy for what I have, because it's people that have not. And we're gonna keep it going. We young, black, in the business. We can't stop. Every time they see us, Brother Lamin, we're gonna be strong. We're gonna be beautiful, and we're gonna be wise.
Yeah.
And we're gonna keep refining ourselves on a daily basis, and we're gonna achieve that ultimate success by being healthy, happy, and successful, and by thinking positive, because our words are our worlds.
Yep.
Our words are actually boomerangs. When we throw them out into the universe is going to give us what we put out there, and that's why you got to think positive, in your spirit, because that absorbs. That is being expelled to the universe, and you're going to attract that. So as being a business person, you have to have principles. Your words have to have value. You have to speak and articulate like a scholar. Like, I don't know if you heard to the world, to the young, black, in the business nation out there, you see this brother's vernacular. This brother right here is using college words. We have to be able to think and move on a higher vibration. We have to elevate, and a lot of times you have to separate to elevate. You have to go around like-minded individuals. For those that have the pencil and the pad, I'm going to share with you again. You have to separate to elevate. You have to go around other individuals that are eagles. You can't. You're unable to fly high if you're associating with chickens. You have to be able to associate with eagles, and eagles fly high and they soar, and they're unique and unusual. But you could definitely look up and find them. And so when you see us, we're gonna be strong. We're gonna be beautiful, and we're gonna be wise. And that's all you're ever gonna see when you see us, young, black, in the business. Let's wrap it up here, Mr. Lamin. Tell us something. Tell the world. Tell the young, black, in the business nation. A little bit more about your backstory. Purpose. Your vision, and what's your nucleus?
Sure. So it's interesting that you mentioned the backstory. I want to kind of let everybody who's listening or who's watching
the world
know that definitely started from the bottom when it comes to Maveriqs, and I don't mean that in the sense of I was poor, I was living on the street, this and that. I've been afforded a number of incredible opportunities in my life, and I really haven't ever wanted for anything. But when I say I started from the bottom, I mean I started this company from zero. I had a business partner. We ended up parting ways about a year in, and I'm 2 years in now. And the company started as a blog. It was a blog called Maveriqs Academy. I've since dropped the academy and just gone forward with Maveriqs. But I just, popped open a website and started writing. And I knew that I wanted to interview entrepreneurs and learn more about entrepreneurship and just start writing. So that's what I did. I started writing, and for about 16 months, just interviewed entrepreneurs, wrote about business, wrote about different things I know, and that people would want to engage in. And then I just discovered, even though it was already kind of in existence, video. And I fell in love with the aspect of creating video content, and moved forward with that and did a couple of video interviews, and then started thinking about an original show that I wanted to create. So just kind of backtracking to the whole concept of it, I've pivoted a number of times in my journey with Maveriqs. It started out as a blog, and then I was interviewing entrepreneurs, which is still something that I do, but that was the core of it at the time. Then I, started wanting to do video content and create and provide services to people. So it doesn't, you shouldn't be afraid if, you're going down one path and you think, well, you know what, I need to take a sharp right and go down this path, because eventually you're going to land on something that you love and you're incredibly passionate about.
Serendipity.
And then that's when you want to move forward full steam and full bore. And that's where I'm at right now. And it did. It took me 2 years to really figure out what I wanted to do with the company. But now I'm moving forward with my show, Boss Battles, with the services that we're able to provide to different individuals, whether that be photo, video, or writing services, and then the events that we put on. Boss Battles isn't just a show; it's an event. I would encourage people who are in the San Diego area,
I agree.
check us out on Facebook. The events are up on the page. They're up on my website as well, and come check out a show. It's an opportunity to meet and interact with the people that we have on the show. They're not on a pedestal. They're not on an ivory tower. You have the opportunity to exchange business cards and shake these people's hands. And these are successful entrepreneurs. They're the reason the show is called Boss Battles for a reason. These people are bosses. They have a successful business, and they're making an impact in whatever industry they may be in. So we have these events for people to come and not only learn how they think and how they answer questions and really work through problems, but also shake their hands and interact with them. And maybe there's an opportunity for you to work on a project with somebody, or take on some new business, or
it may save your life.
Yeah, it may save your life, it may save your business, and it may be one of your steps towards success. So with the whole brand of Maveriqs, really what I'm pushing right now is our original content creation, which would be the show Boss Battles, the services that we provide if anybody's looking to have content production services, and then the events that we put on, or the events that we go to, like being on this show. I'm going to promote this and this platform on my social media channels, and really try to reciprocate the awareness and that has been brought to my brand with your brand as well.
You got to go out there and get it. To the young black in the business nation, you got to go out there and get it. Success is not a doorway, it's a stairway. It takes one step at a time. And may go into a boss battle be that initial step, if you haven't already started yet, to be affiliated with other bosses, to think differently, learn differently. You definitely LTL. You definitely learn something different, and you can be affiliated and also associated with movers and shakers in San Diego County. So I highly recommend you attend a boss battle, or even YouTube it, like it and love it, and tell a friend. You can start your own brand as well. A brand is more than just a logo. You have to execute, like the founder of Maveriqs said. You actually have to go out there and get it. And one thing I also want to share with you and to the world, and something that I took notes on. I take copious notes as well, mentally.
Yep.
You had said that you might have to travel, and what you did was you built your testimony.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't just go from a 0 to 100 real quick. You may have went to A, D, G, B, C, D.
Yep.
You may have went around, but you're at this point now where you have a testimony.
Yep.
You have a testimony, and you're able to testify on some of the things that you witnessed and some of the obstacles that you had to overcome. But like you shared earlier in the segment, if it's not a challenge, it's not worth doing.
Absolutely.
So so the stars are definitely aligning for you. Whatever we can do, this platform can do, and the Young Black in Business Nation can do to support you. We're all in. We look forward to seeing, like I said, Maveriqs on a spaceship, just taking off.
Yeah.
And taking others with them, and like Project X, and just keep building and just keep growing. But definitely, I look forward to seeing your flag planted on the moon. And because it starts, from that thought. And the power of thought on a piece of paper, it'll definitely monetize. And since I met you, Terry Josiah actually invited you to our first Power Networking Mixer, and it was an honor and our privilege to have you there. And we even got a photo of you getting your hair cut.
Yep.
You got your waves in there.
Yeah, it was an excellent event.
Beautiful. And now look at us, keep building and growing, because the energy is there, and the consistency is there, and the drive, and also the professionalism is there as well. So like I said, I just want to just applaud you and commend you, and just give you that shout out. Like I said, our platform, when you see me, you see yourself. When I see you, it's vice versa.
Right on.
You know what I mean? Because we are young, black, and in business. So in conclusion, what advice would you give to an entrepreneur that maybe more than just a logo, but that's looking to embark on the first event? And what advice would you give to an entrepreneur that's looking to have their first event? And what would you give to an entrepreneur that's looking to build a team?
So for the first event, I would say don't get stuck in paralysis by analysis. Don't overthink it. Keep it simple. There's a saying in business. It's KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And I think that applies to a lot of things. When you're having an event, choose your theme. Don't forget to execute. But keep it simple. Keep it something that you can provide value to your audience. Make sure that people are going to be able to benefit from it. Don't be selfish and think about how many people am I going to get there, how much money am I going to make off of this, or how many views or likes or whatever. Think about the value that you're going to provide to your audience. Make sure it's simple, something that you can communicate, something that you're expert in, or something that you can bring in experts to talk about in. And then just pull the trigger, set the event, give yourself some prep time, some time to, find the venue, find the space, whatever it may be, and then pull the trigger and just do it. When it comes to building a team, I like to think of stay in your lane. So, and I actually learned this from my former business partner. It's something that I've carried with me, throughout my journey as an entrepreneur and working on Maveriqs. And something we were even talking about before this, like I know personally that I'm not an expert videographer. I know personally that I'm not an incredible salesman, but something that I am is passionate about creativity, passionate about content creation, and I'm a very good networker. I'm very good at communicating. I'm very good at explaining my concepts to people.
Know your lane.
Right? So those are the things that I do for my company. I've reached out and found people that fill the gaps in my skill set, and that's how I build my team. They also believe in what I'm doing, right? So my videographer, his brand is called The Gentleman Gorilla, and his name's Greg Chapman. He's incredible at what he does. He's a videographer, he's an editor, he's a photographer, and he does those things incredibly well. So I work with him to fill those gaps in my skill set. I also work with other people to fill my gaps in awareness, for instance. Roosevelt, you're fantastic at getting your name out there, getting your brand out there, being on different platforms that can help you communicate what it is that you're doing. So I'm engaging with you to talk about my brand on the radio right now, right? That's a skill set that I don't have, but I'm filling that gap. And I think when people think of a team, they think of people that they may directly work with consistently, but your team involves everybody who may have a touch point on your brand. And you want to keep that in mind because you want to keep that network strong and positive and make sure that it's having a good impact on the brand that you're trying to build. So filling those gaps in skill set, staying in your lane, and making sure that the people that you're interacting with and associating with have a strong and positive impact on your brand. And I'd add another level to that, and it's associate with people that are better than you. We talked about it earlier in the show, but if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. You're in the wrong room. You need to go somewhere where you may be the bottom of the totem pole, but the people that you're associating with believe in you and are going to help you work your way up so that you're learning through osmosis, you're learning through experience and opportunity. You're engaging with people that can teach you something that's going to make you better. You should always be trying to take a step forward, not resting on your laurels.
That's right. And if you don't know what to do, you turn right and go straight. And take this note as well. Nobody's better than you, and you're not better than anyone. So when you step in a room, have eye contact, shake hands, make contacts. To the Young Black in the Business Nation, our motto is our network is our net worth. So shake hands and definitely make friends. I'm gonna use this time right now because the show is coming to a close, but it's been outstanding. I definitely learned something from you. Like I said, took copious notes just to be redundant right now. I'm gonna be the master of redundancy and just recap from the show.
Yeah.
So we learned the word of today is
serendipity.
Serendipity. Okay, it'll come to you.
Find yours.
Find yours. It's gonna find you by just your ability. And the law of success for this week is, I'm asking the world, you should know that by now, but it's self-discipline, self-control, and the price of greatness is responsibility. And the price of greatness on your end is accountability and
execution and sacrifice.
Execution and sacrifice, and self-control is real big, and we're all going to TCB, and that stands for taking care of business. We're going to take care of business in our business. We're going to mind our own business, and what that is, we're going to mind our own business because we have a business to mind, and when you mind, you can reap what you sow is, the gold, the silver. You know what I mean? You can mind your own business, and also mind your own business is stay in your lane. Don't mind somebody else's business. Mind your business. And LTL, learn to listen, listen to learn. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. As we all know. So you should listen more than you speak. And that goes back to LTL, learn to listen and listen to learn. And I want to just remind you, Lamin Turay, founder of Maveriqs, you can be reached.
Check us out on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Maveriqs, Maveriqs. Also on the website, Maveriqs.co. And we're on YouTube. The YouTube channel is Maveriqs.co. Please toss us a like, throw a subscribe on YouTube. Check out our shows. I promise you'll get some value out of it. They're fun, they're entertaining. Boss Battles is an incredible experience. And I would challenge anybody who's out there that has a business, that thinks there's a bot, that thinks they are a boss, hit me up and please come join the show. We're in the midst of season 1 right now. We're getting ready to film episode 4. But if you're interested in being on the show, you like the format, we would love to showcase you, your company, your brand, give you an opportunity and a platform to speak. And really just to join something that's innovative and unique in the San Diego entrepreneurship scene and the entrepreneurship scene in general. There's really nothing like Boss Battles out there, and I would love for people who are interested to join the platform.
Join the platform and get excited. And also remember, no one can control others unless they first learn how to control themselves. So you first have to learn how to control your thoughts, because thoughts have power. Eliminate such things as envy, jealousy, fear, revenge, selfishness, and excessive self-approval. Eliminate those, and I guarantee you'll find serendipity and you'll be successful, because serendipity is looking for you. Wisdom crieth out. It's wisdom that's all around you right now, that's crying, begging for you to see it. You have to have the understanding to be able to know what it is and be able to take action and execute. As a founder of Maveriqs shared with us earlier. So we always start with a commitment, we always deliver with quality, and we always finish with success. Thank you for joining us, Young Black and in Business. We'll see you next week, Sunday at 10 a.m.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll keep it going.
All right.